Hey everybody, good morning. It's still early. I just woke up a little bit ago. I came out to do a little napping. So I grabbed one of these bifaces, one of these ancient bifaces, and I was just going to start chipping on it. I took a couple flakes off the base there, and I was kind of, I think there'll be a lot to learn from napping these pieces, because there's no doubt in my mind that a lot of these were left to come back to. I mean, you don't discard something like that with a bullseye in it. These were probably in caches, and they just roughed these out, these blanks, to work later. And it's really interesting on some of them. I mean, I haven't really went through and studied them yet, but on this one at least, they've got this thing set up to thin really easily. They've got this big bevel going across this edge. You guys can see that. So this thing is set up just about the right steepness to drive big thinning flakes across this back side. And then over here, they got these big platforms or deltas hanging off, and they're dropped down, so you can almost smack that thing and knock the rest of this mass off, and then lower this one down a little bit. Same thing. I just wonder if they left these protruding out there intentionally. Maybe not, but I thought it might be interesting to film this while I nap it. I chipped a couple of these out last night before I went in, and they're a lot darker on the inside. Most of this light colored is patina, so when I get into this thing, it'll darken up probably like these did. But man, these things are really nice. They've got these bullseyes in almost all of them, or a lot of them anyway, and it's really killer material, especially that one. But anyhow, so let's see what I can do with this thing. Okay, so I think I'll go ahead and take this one. I'm going to put surface support on the back edge, or the surface here. I'm going to hit almost straight into this thing. You gotta be careful. That's when you get your radial cracks, when you smack them and they don't let go. Pretty. Yeah, man, I'm going to go back and I got to talk to my buddy and get with him, but I'm going to go back and load up on these things. I'm talking about load up. There's hundreds of thousands of these things. Not a doubt in my mind, because just what was showing on the surface and how big that field was, you got to figure the first 12 inches of dirt is probably packed with these things. The field wasn't even tilled. It was just picked and rained flat. All the dirt was just perfectly flat. So a lot of that stuff actually got covered back up, after all that rain and everything settled down flat. There's probably a lot more stuff just under the surface than there is on the surface. What I'm thinking. If y'all haven't seen that video of me finding that stuff in that field, you should go back. And I loaded a couple of them on here. I've actually got another one I could load, but I shot 3 little clips in that field while I was arrowhead hunting, and you see how much hornstone's in there. I think I found 4 or 5 pieces live on film just within a few minutes. Pretty wild. I ended up finding some real nice Adinas, some turkey tail Adinas. I have no idea where they're at. My truck still probably. Tons of tools, tons and tons and tons of tools. Every size, shape, and color, and texture, and weight. Pointy ones, and dull ones, and round ones, and sharp ones, and just tools everywhere, man. My buddy, I think he calls that field the tool shed. Really neat feeling knapping these things that somebody else started way back when. Makes you wonder what their plans was for it, and probably didn't have any. They were probably just cranking them out by the thousands. But my plan, I'm not sure yet. As far as I could tell, that was made mostly an Adina site. Everything I was finding looked like Adina stuff, which is, goes to show you when you think about finding a lot of tools, or at least when I think about, I find a lot of tools and flake knives and retouched stuff. I always think old, like early archaic or paleo, but in reality, they use those tools probably all the way up through the ages, from way back when to the most recent stuff. The Mississippians. We always called them the Miami culture around here when I was growing up. We find the little Madisons and triangles and stuff. I always called them either Fort Ancients or Miami points. There's a lot of different names for them. They call them Hamiltons, I think, down where I found this stuff in Kentucky. All the same Indians, same time era. I used to hunt a field locally here when I was young. I was real young. My dad started me arrowhead hunting when I was old enough to walk, and started planting them for me out there. But there was one field we hunted that had a burial in it. There was a ridge that the field went out, and there was a ridge, big long ridge, and it dropped off again and flattened out, and then the river was down there. Well, in the 1913, I think, flood, it was a huge flood came through, and it washed like 9 or 11 whole skeletons out of that field, out of that bump out there, that ridge, which used to be probably a lot more pronounced and higher. Maybe over the years they've tilled it down flatter, but just looked like a ridge where it dropped off, and they had burials all along that, right on that rim, and they washed out. But when I was young, I remember walking that field, and I found all kind of stuff in there. I seen one of the collections that came out of that field when it was one of the first guys who hunted it, put it that way. His name was George Zoomer. He's dead now, but he had a pretty awesome collection. He actually willed it to a good friend of mine's father. He has the collection now. But all the cool Mississippian stuff, pottery, and they didn't have any hole pots. I don't think George did any digging out there. He just surface hunted. But I found a snow white quartz pipe bowl. Had the bowl end of it, a shallow bowl, and it had a hole drilled going in this way, and it was broke right where the two holes met. So I just had the bowl, and the stem was gone. I thought that thing was so cool. I left it in an apartment one time when I moved, and it was in a piece of furniture I left, and I didn't realize it was in there, and I lost it. Another piece of slate, either a piece of an effigy or it's a big round, just a round thing coming out. It's like a cone, kind of. And all kind of neat stuff in that field. Found the base of some kind of, I don't know, it wasn't a whitetail. It looked like maybe I guess either an elk or I don't know. It had to, I guess, be elk. The big base of a antler on there. Bones, man. There was just human bones everywhere. The farmer quit plowing it for a long time because he didn't like hearing the bones crunch under the wheels of the tractor. And I haven't even tried to get permission to hunt that place in years. I might go up there and knock on the door and they let me go. I'm sure it's about cleaned out by now. If they would plow anything, everything's no-tilled, seems like anymore. Hopefully I don't run out of room on my camera here. I apologize. That Flint Ridge video I did, my storage ran out right at the end. But you guys didn't miss too much. I ended up knocking that base off there and I'm going to start over on it. I haven't finished it yet. The base didn't work out. I'm doing a little more talking than I am napping today, ain't I? Let me get this thing going. My hand's so sore, I just can't even bear it anymore. I just got to wear a glove. That's all there is to it. Cut all the pieces. So I had a couple people that got a little bit upset because they didn't get to Horse Creek. I apologize. You guys, if I post a video or something talking about material on here, the quicker you email me at bradsarrowheads@gmail.com, the better, because I don't really communicate back and forth in the comment section on the YouTube when I'm doing business. I like to just move it all over to that email, and then between my email and that specific email and my messages on Messenger for Facebook, if I can keep all my business and orders in there, it's easier for me to go back and look. So I do apologize to the people who was maybe hoping they were going to get some and didn't. I just turned the cooker off. I got it in a heat treat right now. most of it. I went ahead and cleaned it up a little bit further. Glad I did, because there was some pretty rough spots in a lot of it. Probably still is. You guys will find out. Horse Creek's not, it's cool to nap because it's pretty, but it's hard stone to nap. Alright, I'll shut up and start. Get busy, get to work here. So I think we got good material down here to do our notching. It's kind of rough up here, so I'll take this off and make this our tip. This our base. I'll just make a quick Adina out of it. Probably what it was going to be anyway. Step down a size. Oh, bummer. Dang it, man, that stinks. All because of that one little spot right on the edge right there caused that crack to go in there as a crack and not a bulb. You see a little spot right there. A little quartz vein or something right there. Caused that thing to snap right in half. It could have been a crack where I hit it earlier. I haven't been hitting this thing very good. Man, that's pretty. Not warmed up today yet. know why those aren't going. There we go. You know what? I know why these flakes aren't releasing. I know why it sounds different and feels different. I don't know if you guys can hear that, but it's got a hollow sound when I'm hitting this thing. It's not grabbing the edge right. It's not, the crack isn't initiating fast enough. I'm not getting that crack when I hit it. And you know what I think it is? I think it's because I'm wearing these gloves. And that support isn't there. So this thing is bouncing. I know that's what it is. Yep. Man, that's crazy how much difference that made. I was having a real hard time there. That's exactly what it was too, man. That's the difference in just being able to support it just a little bit better with your bare hands. And not having that. It's got give. It's got, because you got that spongy leather in between your hands and your fingers in the piece. So that edge was dropping a little bit probably when I was hitting it, and it was causing those flakes to come off half-ass and not come off at all. That's pretty wild. I knew something was going on. You hear that crack, snap, pop? I wasn't getting that earlier. Hear that? Man, I guess I'll just have to keep beating my hands up. My poor finger. That one right there takes a beating, buddy. I gotta put something around that. That's from Spalding. That's a good one there, man. That one, I got that one last night. I didn't realize how bad it was. Oh, the trials of a Flint napper. Yeah, that was really affecting how those flakes were coming off there wearing that glove. I'm glad I caught that and was able to figure out what was going on. Can't get that good support like you can with your bare hands. makes such a difference on how the flakes come off. And the more you do it, the more you're able to use different edges and recognize areas that will work but aren't correct. And with between your support and your swing speed and your angles, and you just kind of get the feel for how you can manipulate these flakes and get them to come off, even if the edge isn't perfect. And being able to adjust the edge ahead of yourself is crucial. Whether you're doing it with a pressure flaker or a grinder or, a braider or hammerstone or whatever, just a little bit of adjustment goes a long way. Of course, you need to be able to recognize what not to hit as much as what will produce a good flake. This isn't a good contour here because it's perfectly flat and the edge is real low, so if I hit that, it's just either going to step or take a real thin flake. So I'll take a couple short ones just to build some convexity. Space them out. Another little one there. Okay, so right in here is a good place to start, right on the shoulder, to start thinning. You can really remove a lot of mass if you come in from the shoulders diagonally like this. You can get a lot of this thinned out up here. Let me clean this side up here a little bit. See, like on that hit, I hit above the edge and just took a glancing flake and overstruck the edge, so to speak. So I struck in too far, or further than I normally would, and let it just kind of roll over the edge, and it peeled that flake off. You can do that too. Same thing there. So it's really not connecting with the edge, it's just kind of rolling over it or sliding over it. This isn't too bad. I'm going to raise it up just a little bit, which is actually lowering it. When I flip it over to take the flakes. Alright, I need to get rid of this little stack I got going on there. So right here, this edge, I got a ridge going in here, but this, if I shoot from here, it's going to run right into that like a wall. So I need to sneak up on this thing. I need to come from back here at it. So I think I can actually get it probably from right here. Let me take a short one here, a little one. That'll isolate. And I probably should go ahead and take my major flake right there because that's going right into that stack. I'll move it over just a little bit. That'll help isolate it. Yeah, I'm pretty stoked about getting back into the artifact hunting. I used to love it, man. I always thought, you know, later in life when the time's right, I'll get back into it. Time is right. Right as rain. Starting to get her thinned out. There went my platform. Knocked it right off there. You know, I use this abrader awful lot to, I mean, I don't just use it to dull platforms. I use it to shape the edge and really take it back where you need to, and it's a really crucial tool. You know, whether it be your abrader, carborundum abrader, or a hammerstone, or a little piece of sandstone, it's really important to make those little adjustments on the edge before you take your flakes. I'm gonna see if I can get rid of this stuff. Do my little push and pull trick. Put pressure on it and kind of pull back. I don't know if this one will go or not. Might take more than one hit. Didn't go. Didn't go again. It's asking a little much of it. Come on off here. Broke it. Well, anyhow, maybe that'll be an entertaining video, if nothing else. I think I did more bull crapping than Flint napping. So, anyways, so if you guys want some of these preforms, let me know. I know somebody, Clint, just ordered 10 pounds of them. For $1 a pound, I mean, you can't go wrong. You're lucky to get a biface, you know, out of a good spall. You're paying a lot more per pound. But I don't know what else to do with these things, man. I mean, there's just so many of them. There's some pretty ones too. What did I just say? $1 a pound? No, $5 a pound. Same as the spalls, but you're getting bifaces. Or the nodules and spalls. I've probably got about 30 pounds of them left. 30 or 40 pounds. So, let me know, guys. I got a few things to take care of around here for the next couple of days, and then I'm heading back south. Going after some more rock. I got to get that hornstone while the getting's good, because once they plant those fields with crops, that cover crop they put in there, winter wheat or whatever they do with it, that'll be it. We won't be able to get in there. But we should have a few weeks here. I think they cut the stuff that I've been in thus far as for silage. They cut it early. I guess maybe it wasn't doing good or whatever, but I should have access to these fields for the next few weeks anyways. So, all right, that's it, guys. I'll catch you on the next one. Thanks for watching.